Today and even tomorrow, it's going to be feeling more like summer as opposed to winter here in Connecticut. And this morning, the big headline is the poor visibility as we have areas of fog and as well drizzle. So roads are damp as you head out the door. We've got visibilities down to around 2.5 miles in Willimantic, a half mile at Windsor Locks, as well as in Waterbury. Along the shoreline, not too bad there. Cloudy and certainly damp, but visibilities at around 10 miles. So as we look live from New Haven, you can see they're not a bad scene unfolding visibility-wise. But from Hartford, certainly a reduction here in visibility from our capital city and as well from Middletown. You can just see how everything is just quite wet out there as well. So keep that in mind as you head out the door this morning. Plan perhaps a little extra time. We've got the fog, we've got the wet roads. Currently, Kathy in Southbury reports 62 degrees. Laura in East Hampton is at 60. Patrick in Simsbury also right now at the 60-degree mark. These temperatures across the state exceptionally mild. Normal low is 43. We're about 20 degrees above that in many communities. Inland, we've got 60 to 62 in many spots along the shoreline, mid if not even upper 60. So a very warm start to the day will set the stage for an even warmer afternoon. Throughout the Northeast, not too much happening. We've got the extensive cloud cover now, but eventually as the day progresses, we'll see some intervals of sunshine. And yesterday, of course, during the afternoon, we were stuck in the 50s and 60s. That cooler air has been retreating northward. We've got warmer air to our southwest that's heading up in our direction as our wind flow becomes more south and southwesterly. So dew point values today also well into the mid, if not even upper 60. So looking at the big picture here, we've got a storm system off to the west, a cold front that heads in our direction, arriving on Thursday. At the same time, we're going to be watching very closely Michael making landfall tomorrow across the panhandle of Florida. Some of the moisture associated with Michael gets drawn northward into this approaching system from the west, enhancing the threat for some heavier rain on Thursday and as well even for some thunderstorms before the system clears out on early in the day on Friday. So Futurecast, 7 o'clock this morning. As we move the clock forward in time, you can see eventually, say by around midday, lunch time and points thereafter, the clouds breaking up some intervals of sunshine. That's going to help to boost those temperatures well into the mid, if not upper 70s. Partly to mostly cloudy overnight, and then throughout the day tomorrow, basically a mix of sun and clouds, a dry day on tap for our Wednesday. So with regard to Michael, here's a little bit closer look. There's the Yucatan Peninsula. There's the western part of Cuba. It's heading into some very warm waters over the eastern Gulf of Mexico, heading to the north-northwest in the general direction of, say, Panama City. That's where it's about 420 miles to the south of Panama City right now. Sustained winds up to 90 miles an hour. That's the same as the last update, so really holding its own right now, but it is forecast to strengthen. Category 2, perhaps Category 3 before making landfall midday tomorrow across the Florida Panhandle, then eventually moving inland. So on the to the center and right of this path is where we're going to see the worst of the storm surge, the heaviest of the rain. So eventually, after making its way inland, perhaps moving back offshore through the mid-Atlantic, but again, that moisture getting drawn northward here into Connecticut for this Thursday as that storm system from the west approaches. So in the meantime, today, mid and upper 70s inland, mid 70s along the Connecticut shoreline, well above the average high of 66 by, say, 10 to 12 degrees. Tomorrow, even warmer. We're heading back into the 80s. The record high for tomorrow, for comparison, is 89. So probably not record warmth, but certainly well above average by nearly 20 degrees. Then on Thursday, rain becomes likely, perhaps heavy at times with even some thunderstorms late in the day, mid 70s. Then in the wake of a cold front on Friday, we dry out, the humidity drops, temperatures go back into the mid and upper 60s, so cooling down, and the sun comes back out. Then for the upcoming weekend, very much feeling like autumn across Connecticut. Mid 50s on Saturday for highs, low 60s on Sunday, but we've got some really cold mornings. Chilly Saturday morning near 40, several degrees colder, perhaps even some frost in some of the outlying areas by, say, Sunday morning. Then we're looking at more wet weather perhaps by Monday of next week. And for shoreline highs this weekend, 58 on Saturday, 63 on Sunday. If you are perhaps running in the Hartford Marathon, half marathon, the relay, the 5K, I think it's pretty ideal weather conditions, maybe a little bit of a breeze, but temperature-wise and the humidity, it's going to be great. If you're a spectator, you may need to have a jacket because it's going to be on the cool side for sure.
At least there's no snow in the forecast.
This is true. Yes, indeed.